Joining us now, Jonathan Conricus, former IDF spokesman. Thank you, sir, so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Talk to me about why Courage, why right outside of Tehran, some of the sites that we're seeing. What's the thinking behind it?
Well, I think that one of your previous guests spelled out the logic. First of all, I don't think that this will be the last Israeli strike on Iranian military targets in the coming future. What Israel is doing now is likely beginning a new strategy against Iran, one that signals to the Iranian regime that Israel is not going to continue to take continuous Iranian attacks, whether direct or indirect. And as such, Israel is going to retaliate. Now, it makes very clear military sense to first take out the knives and take away the Iranian defensive and offensive capabilities. So what I think we will see as the dust begins to settle and as more details will come forward is that Israel will be aiming for and striking with success military targets around Tehran and in other places in Iran. There are reports coming in of additional locations that have been hit. And that will be the first round of fighting. I think we should anticipate that the Iranians will fire back at Israel, and Israel will strike Iran again and again. So what we're looking at is really just the first round of serious confrontation. And I think that the targets that are being struck are mainly military targets.
We're also hearing reports of explosions near or at Imam Khomeini International Airport. What are you hearing, sir?
I'm hearing that as well, and there's a lot of IRGC, Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps activity there and in other locations. Basically, Tehran is full of regime and Quds Force and Revolutionary Guard locations. At this stage, I don't think that the IDF will be striking the local Basij police or IRGC headquarters. I would assume that Israeli strikes would be on classic military targets that have clear relevance to Israel, and these other targets may come in the future. And I think that if we zoom out for a second and look at what's happening, I think that we may be looking at the first stages of a new strategy in the Middle East by Israel that is holding the regime accountable and where Israel will start to apply pressure on that Iranian regime after more than 20 years of Iran doing the opposite against Israel.
When we talk about Iran, you can't not talk also about their nuclear capabilities. How concerned are you that this could become a much broader conflict? This could launch another world war?
Yeah, so of course that's considerations that Israeli decision makers have. It's still unclear whether the Iranians actually have nuclear weapons ready to use, or, and this we know confirmed, that they have lots of fissile material and many intentions to create nuclear weapons. And they definitely have a very elaborate nuclear military program. And what I think that is, of course, part of the considerations. Should Israel wait until Iran has a viable and ready-to-use nuclear weapon, or should Israel take action before that becomes reality? I, of course, would recommend the latter, that Israel doesn't wait and that Israel takes matters into its own hand and make sure that the Iranian regime will never have nuclear weapons. But I do not think that that is what we're seeing now. I don't think that that is what Israel is striking currently. Currently, I understand that the strike is focused on military targets, which will be paving the way for future Israeli operations as this conflict will escalate.
You know, Blinken said today that, quote, Israel has achieved important strategic objectives in ensuring the October 7th can never happen again. But essentially nothing that he lists, he doesn't talk about what the Biden-Harris administration would do to prevent a further escalation. So what do you think the response from the United States should be?
Well, first of all, I as an Israeli, I am grateful for all the response that all the support that Israel has been getting and is getting from the United States of America. And the second thing, I think that it has to be clear for everybody, regardless of their political affiliation, that now is it's game time. Now things are getting very, very serious. And now Israel will need significant and steady support by the United States of America, because now Israel is taking on really the source of violence and instability in the region and Israel's number one enemy. And now is the time, of course, to show that the US stands with Israel, its main Middle Eastern ally. And I think this is a great opportunity for the expansion of American goals in the region as well. This is a very good opportunity.
Jonathan Conricus, thank you so much for joining us. And